Let's see if this works. Hopefully, this is going to get started. This is an actual live stream. Welcome, folks. I'm your host of the FBC Virtual Channel, and you're tuning into actual Blender 2.80 series. And hopefully, this thing is running. We'll see what we got going. I'm going to check on my smartphone and see if it's tuning in. So, actually, let me go check out on YouTube. I don't see it showing up on my live stream setting for my smartphone. So let me just try to double back on it. Let's go home. Let's see if we can get it to reload. All right, yes. So we are live, and let me jump in and see what I got going on here. We got one viewer. All right, let me turn down the audio on this and just wait for a little bit more people to come in. This is going to be a very awesome video. What you're looking at right here is an actual character that I threw up from, not literally thrown up like throw up on the floor or whatever, but I threw this up from the actual MakeHuman Community plugin for Blender 2.8, and it's a mind-blowing plugin that you can get. Um, let's see how many more people we can get into the live chat. Feel free to actually ask me any questions if you want while this live chat is running, because we're going to be doing some really good stuff. First off, I'm going to show y'all folks how to get the actual plugin. So if you are tuning in, if you never used the MakeHuman Community tool, let me show you real quick. We're going to jump into that. And this is the socket area that you're going to have to connect, where it says accept connections, when you get the MakeHuman tool running. So that is something that you're going to have to do before you actually synchronize everything to Blender. Now, what MakeHuman is an actual 3D asset tool where you can construct human 3D avatar characters or 3D characters for maybe your animations that you want to create, or maybe you want to create some kind of film projects and things like that, and you want to add props to it and use a 3D avatar to add in multiple scenes and stuff like that. Maybe you're doing VFX, special effects and stuff, and you want to add more things into your scene. Or you're just doing 3D projects for maybe Instagram. You want to display to people how cool your actual characters look. And this is what I like to do sometimes, where I throw up my 3D humans and whatever other 3D models that I have that I can come up with and create, or probably get the permission to use if it's some other person's 3D asset that they created. So you can do all of this stuff using the actual MakeHuman Community software. So let me go real quick to the file area. Now, how do you get to that socket area? Talking about that. Now, when you first start, it's going to be set at the file area, and you're going to notice that the character is naked. So it's going to start out naked. You have to get the MakeHuman software first, obviously, on your computer. So in order to do all that stuff, I'm going to lead y'all folks to it. But right now, I'm just doing an introduction to a lot of these different tools that you're going to be able to utilize for free, 100% for free. If you never used it, this is a great opportunity to try it out now. So this community tab, how do you get to it? You just click it. Everything is clickable, very easy to do. Like I said, connect this socket area to the server, where you click this little checkbox that says accept connections. Also, you're going to have this download assets option. This is the newer version of MakeHuman Community 1.2.0 alpha version 2. Now, in order to get your synchronization things going on and all that stuff, in order to get your download and your assets, you have to click the synchronize option down at the bottom. But it's not working for me on this version, on 1.2.0 alpha 2. It hasn't worked for me. It keeps crashing when I click synchronize. So for you, it's probably may work for you depending on your computer and your luck if it does work. But since this is still in the alpha version, don't expect everything to work the way it's intended. Now, let's see. Other than that, that's that. But it does work for 1.2.0 alpha version 1. So I did test it on alpha 1. And anything that's an alpha or beta test is not going to work 100% like I said. So keep that in mind, folks. This is all in a test phase. It's not in its full release yet. So don't expect anything to do what it should do. Um, In terms of your projects, you can save your projects from your files here. When you save, it's going to come out in a .mhm file type. So you got these three tiny dots here. That's how you access your desktop computer or laptop computer folders. You click it and it allows you to access that stuff and to create a store. So I'm just giving y'all folks that information if you want to store that particular character, which I stored him. I called him Dude. I put him in a MakeHuman subfolder that I created for my actual MakeHuman character builds. And then I put him behind a Cloud Boy one because this was a previous character that I really didn't care about too much and I wanted to just get some space without creating a brand new folder. So if y'all folks don't know how to do that stuff, you can ask me questions. I'll let y'all folks know eventually in future live streams as well, and most definitely in the comment section I'll try to give y'all folks some answers. I really do appreciate whoever has shown up, and for whoever is going to show up in the future. We're going to move on. Now, the previous version of MakeHuman Community, they had the 1.1.1 version of MakeHuman. They had what is known as the MakeHuman Exchange. And sorry about that motorcycle in the background, but it was very noisy. They had the MakeHuman Exchange, which is known as the MHX2, and that was a plugin that you would be required to actually go to the GitHub website location for it, and you would have to extract that folder. There's like a zip folder that you would have to get from that GitHub location, and you would have to add the plugin onto your MakeHuman folders in your computer. That is automatically downloaded once you download MakeHuman the software. So I learned how to do all that, but thanks to the developers out there on the MakeHuman community, they came up with this option here that is automatically tied into the software for version 1.2.0 Alpha 1 and Alpha 2. So now you don't have to worry about finding that MHX2, and it's automatically tied in. And what does it do? Well, pretty much it allows you to merge your characters onto Blender, and it gives you much more capabilities than you realize. It gives you a lot of power. So it gives you the ability to transfer shape keys that are pre-designed and pre-designated from 3D artists and modelers who work with the MakeHuman community. And they pretty much tied it in as an automation. So you can do all that kind of stuff, but for some reason it's not working for my version that I have on version 2.80 beta for Blender. So it does work for version 2.79b, the previous versions of Blender. So keep that in mind. You can go backwards in time and get those older versions that are in their full release and they work and they're stable. So here goes the MHX2 add-on. Now, where are the add-ons? Where's the add-on locations? Here goes the MakeHuman add-on. So the add-ons are actually on GitHub locations and also on the makehuman.org website, or actually the makehumancommunity.org website. So let me bring y'all folks to that here. So you got the makehumancommunity.org. This is where you're going to actually get access to the tool, to the software. So I highly recommend for y'all folks to go there and try to get it if you want to get this functionality and capability. And you're going to see the power of what I can do as soon as I get over this part. I just want to get past this part because I'm trying to help y'all folks to learn how to get this stuff. So you go to makehumancommunity.org. I'm right now in the plugins section, and this is the previous builds for MakeHuman. So this is the plugins that will work for MakeHuman version 1.1.1 and previous versions. So these plugins may not work for the future versions of MakeHuman where it says 1.2.0 Alpha 1 and Alpha 2. Those versions may not work, so keep that in mind. And I'm doing this live, so my voice might get kind of clogged up and stuff, so I'm gonna drink some water real quick. So, all right, let's bounce over to that page. So you can also click this icon up here where it says MakeHuman to navigate back to the home page, just like any website. And from there, when you're at makehumancommunity.org, the main page, that's where you're going to find the releases that are available. They have the Alpha 1 version that I tried here, and they have the Alpha 2 version that was recently released in December 10th of 2018. So as per their wiki page, if you go to their wiki page, let me right click and go to open link in new tab. you will get a chance to check out and also get the download in terms of all the information that they provide on how it actually works. And it tells you that it will behave strangely. It says right here. So keep that in mind. Like I said, it's in an alpha release. It's not a full release yet, so you may have issues, and you can actually submit to the community whatever issues and bugs that you have. So it says right here, providing feedback and bugs. You can go to that, and you can use this bug tracker .makehumancommunity.org location, or you can use the GitHub, and it says community plugins, assets, download issues. Now I'm going to go to this one to do a little trick to get over to the GitHub location where you need the plugin that will work for Blender. The reason why I pointed that out is because when you try to get the regular download, which is here, it says where to download. You can also click the link that says where to download here, and it gets you to download. So you click that, and excuse me, my throat is kind of clogged up. So you get that part, and then you save it to your computer. When you save it, it becomes a zip folder, and you have to unzip it, extract it basically. And once you get into that folder that you extracted, I'm not going to show you exactly how to do it because it'll make this live stream extremely long. So I'm not going to get into the extraction. I'm going to show y'all folks in future videos how to extract, just videos on how to extract, how to make plugins tie into MakeHuman, or make add-ons tie into Blender. I'll show y'all folks in a series of differing videos for that. But for those who already know how to extract folders and add to Blender, this will help you obviously to get the download. So once you get it, you save it, click OK, it goes to your computer, and you go into your computer folders off of your web browser downloads. So you can go to your web browser downloads, go to tools, downloads, and find that actual zip folder. Open up the containing folder, click here or right click, and then you'll have to go in and do the file extractions and stuff like that. So if you don't know how to do any of that stuff, let me know. You can drop comments in the videos, under the videos description area in the comment section below, and that will help y'all folks. Whatever I have to offer in terms of tips and stuff like that, I can help y'all directly so you can get the answers quicker than having to wait for those videos if that's the case. So other than that, that's that method that you're going to have to go through. Now, if you're trying to get, like I said, if you're trying to get the plugin for Blender 2.80 beta, it won't work through this download. So whatever you get from the extraction folders from this download, don't go for that. Go for this direction to get that actual plugin, or add-on I should say. So you go here to GitHub, and you have to click on MakeHuman Community right here instead of going through the community plugins asset download. This is just issues if you wanted to submit issues of what's not working for you. So we're going to click over here to MakeHuman Community, and then from here you're going to go to, scroll down a little bit and go to MakeHuman plugin for Blender. So I'm going to try to tie this into this video after this live stream is done. Y'all guys could check back and look at the video's description area, and I should have this link in there for y'all folks so y'all can get to it. So how do you get the actual download from this page? Well, it's fairly simple, pretty easy. You just go to this green tab right here where it says clone or download, and you click it. When you do that, it opens up this clone with HTTPS little screen pop up, and you go to download zip. You click the download zip, and then it gives you the download right there. So it gives you this MakeHuman plugin for Blender master.zip. So you grab that, just like I showed y'all folks, like I was talking about with the download for the MakeHuman actual software itself. So you get this plugin, and then you actually can open this one up. So you extract it. Usually when you get a plugin for Blender, you don't extract it and you just use the zip folder. Well, this particular one, you want to extract it and then go into it and find the mh_community folder. That is an actual folder in there, and you have to zip that one. So it's really tricky in this part, but I have mine zipped already, and I'll show y'all folks from where I put it at. I put it on a specific point in my computer, or part of my computer. So I go to Blender add-ons, and it should be in here. It's the mh_community. So this is the one that you want. Now, if it's not zipped, I'm gonna show y'all folks how to zip something. So I'll do that right now instead of making a future video for that particular part. So if you want to zip, say you wanted to zip this folder, you right click it, and then we'll go to send to. See how it says send to? So after you right click, this menu pops up, and I'm sure y'all folks already did that for copying, cutting, pasting, looking into properties and stuff. So you go to send to, and then go to compress zip folder, and it turns that particular non-zip folder into a zip folder, and that is pretty cool. So I found that out a while back when I was first trying to learn how to get Blender add-ons to work, and I followed some forums, and somebody actually put an image out there for folks to learn how to do it. So that's how I learned a lot of stuff. I used the forums, and I used whatever I find on YouTube videos, tons of YouTube videos on how these things actually work out. So hopefully that works out for you on how to zip a folder, but you most definitely got to get this one, the MH_community. So here goes the Blender master one. So say you wanted to extract it, you extract all through your computer, or you use like a Z-zip or Express zip or something. Whichever way you can extract it, try to extract it and then get it to open up to a regular folder. Then you double click it, go into it like this one, and that's how you would find the MH_community folder, and then right click and then send to compressed zip folder. Now you need that compressed zip folder because when you go into Blender, let's go to Blender and let's go to edit. Now for Blender 2.80 beta, you have to go to the edit option to get to your user preferences, which is renamed now and is called preferences. So you go to preferences and then you go to add-on. So you go to add-ons, and in this add-ons area, this is where you're going to install that file that you actually zipped, the MH_community. So you go to install add-on from file, and then from there you have to find what folder you put it in. So 9 times out of 10 your actual zip folder or unzip folder, whatever one that you actually got on your computer, is going to be in your downloads. So you might want to move it from your downloads prior to getting here to your desktop so you can access it very fast. Or else you're going to be standing here trying to figure out for a while where the hell it is. Where is my actual folder at? So mine's is not in the downloads because I moved it to a 3D objects folder on my computer, and then I put it in Blender add-ons. So this is how you navigate through your folders. You just hit this curly arrow, the up arrow. If you never did it before, that's how you do it. And then you got these zip folders that will be here. So .zip is the actual file type that you need, and that's why you have to zip it. If you don't zip it, you're not going to find it. It's going to just be one of these open folders where you can go into it and try to find something else, and that won't work for you. Now another way to do it, instead of zipping it, you can try to go through these folders, but like I said, if it's not zipped, it's not going to allow you to get the actual file. It will show up here. So say I wanted this one, Blender MMD tools dev test or whatever .zip. You click it and then it shows up here. If it doesn't show up here, you can't install it. So this is the install button. You click the install button when you're ready to install that particular add-on, and that's basically it. But I'm going to create a separate video. So here goes the one that has mh_community.zip. That's the one you want, and click install add-on from file. So I'm going to create a separate video on how to do all this stuff, so you don't really have to memorize it. But if y'all folks don't want to wait until then, that's basically it right there. So now, what is the power? What does it do? This is the grand finale of the video. This is going to be the part where y'all folks are going to be blown away. So this part you're probably familiar with Blender if you already used Blender before, how to come up with the character render. So I'm rendering right now using cycles. If you try to render in Eevee, it's going to look crappy. For some reason, I don't know why, but it has some issues. It starts out with looking like this, kind of weird, with all of this kind of window looking spotty stuff on it from MakeHuman. So it gets imported this way, and how it turns out, it looks like that. So I figured out in terms of the shading, you go to backface culling, you click that one, and that gets rid of that problem in Eevee. But still, you're gonna have some issues, and a lot of the shadow issues is all over the place. I don't like that, so I switch it to cycles, and as soon as you switch it to cycles, you're gonna notice it's a big difference. So all you got to do is just correct your lighting positioning and correct your your differing angles and how you want it to look. And other than that, you can render it and make it look really, really good. Now, talking about the actual add-on, how does the add-on come into play? So we got the MakeHuman add-on here, and it shows up on the right as opposed to on the left, where your toolbar would have been in the previous versions of Blender 2.79b. 2.80 beta version of Blender, all your add-on tabs show up on the right. That's how they reorganize it, so the developers just shifted it over. So don't get worried and concerned that it's not here on the left. So what you got to do is go down to the bottom. Don't worry about all the other settings. If you want to get this to start working, all you got to do is go to import human. And another thing that you don't want to do is to show people your socket information. Don't show them your socket information because it has server information and all that stuff. When you get the socket and you click this accept connections, make sure that your Blender add-on is already on to Blender, and make sure that everything is set up in terms of the tab showing here. To get the tab to show up, you have to go into your edit option, go back to your preferences if you didn't do it and you're saying to yourself, where is my actual, hold on one second, where is my actual tab? Where is it at? Where's it at? You know, you're trying to figure out where the freak is at. So what you got to do is go to MakeHuman. It should already be up there, and if it's not up there, you go over here and you'll have a category for MakeHuman if you got the plugin working. And all you got to do is click this little check mark in the box after you got the add-on in, and click Save Preferences, and then it will actually put the tab in there. So your tab will show up as soon as you click the checkbox. So that's that part. And then, like I said, don't worry about anything that's in here that's checked. Everything is defaulted for you to be able to import your character automatically. So you don't have to file exchange anything from MakeHuman. It comes in automatically packaged, and it's pretty powerful. So as you see here, I'm gonna show you the different versions. I'm gonna scroll up real quick, and I'm gonna show you the different versions that's gonna pop into the screen. So we have differing sizes, so that's one thing that you most definitely can change if you want to change that. The other stuff you'll figure it out as you see fit over time. So it starts out by default at meter. Meter means that that's the size, the actual Blender unit size in comparison to what Blender used to use. Blender uses Blender units, and it converts it to meters. So one Blender unit is equivalent to 1 meter. That's what it shows right there on the screen. If you hover over it, you'll see what the measures are. And then they have decimeters. 1 Blender unit equals 1 decimeter. I don't know how that conversion works. And 1 Blender unit equals 1 centimeter. I don't know why those are showing kind of equivalent to all Blender units, but it's all good. So say you started by the default at meter. When you click import, it's going to be a very, very small character that's going to import. And as you can see, it just popped into the screen right down there. Then you got this one up here, which is the one that I chose to use, which is decimeter. And then for the centimeter one, you have to back it up a little bit in terms of your scroll wheel, your mouse scroll wheel, and then go to import human, and then it's going to pop in the larger scale. And look at that, it's pretty huge. Now, why would you want to use the larger scale? Well, if y'all folks have watched my previous videos, if you've seen anything in dealing with Wakaru, which is really dope 3D animation software that's built into Unity and by Unity, one of the developers who are developing Unity assets, they actually came up with this thing called Wakaru, and I put it out there for folks to learn how to use it and to get started with it. And basically what it does, it gives you the ability to animate your character's face, kind of like a mocap does, a motion capture. And that's pretty powerful that you can do that. I'm gonna back it out. I'm gonna control Z and back out a lot of this stuff so you can see what I had started out with. And so yeah, so Wakaru is a really, really dope tool. I highly recommend for folks to try it out. Check it out. It's over on the Steam powered store. Steam, I don't know if y'all folks ever use Steam, but the Steam engine, if you get into character building and you're making your 3 assets and stuff like that, and you start to learn how to create shape keys and things like that, or use automated shape keys through the MakeHuman tool, then you can get into gearing yourself to have customized characters on Wakaru, and then you can animate the character's face and also the upper body. So it animates the arms, which is pretty cool. So other than that, you can do a little bit more stuff as well here. You can change the rig. So you go to the rig option. You also have the ability to animate through Connect, but I believe they said that Connect is not working for this Blender 2.8 version yet in terms of Blender 2.8 beta. So keep in mind it may not work with your Connect if you already have a Connect that you've been using for motion capture and stuff like that. I never did a Connect motion capture type of operation or project, but in the future I'm going to be working on that. I just haven't had the budget to really purchase that. I've been paying bills down and stuff like that. So in the future I'll try to get into all of that stuff and maybe even get into VR in the future. You'll see whenever I come up with videos, and that'll probably be like 6 months from now or whatever. I'm not sure, 3 months to 6 months down the road after I get all my bills paid and out of the way. So that's that part. Let's go back to the rig. So the rig, how the rig works, let me activate everything in my overlays. Right now I have everything hiding. So you can activate, deactivate things with your overlay option over here, which basically hides everything in your Blender viewport. So I hid pretty much everything except the character 3D model and my actual camera. I got a camera down there in the bottom. So what you can do is click the rig, and you can also click it over here. And when you click the rig, you activate the rig. Basically that activates the ability over here in the rig option to synchronize with MakeHuman Community software. So that was a little error. I was saying don't show anybody your server stuff, so I had to hop out of that socket and real quick do it. So since it's live, it's all right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit out that part of the video once I get the video to load up through YouTube. So let's go over and let's see what we could do. We'll go to pose, animate, and we're gonna go to the pose options, and you can play around with posing and skeleton. But with the skeleton, you want it to be set at default because it won't allow you to change poses if you have it set in another differing skeleton. Skeleton is another name for armature, and that deals with the 3D asset having bones so that the 3D asset can be animated. So all of that stuff you'll learn once you get into the point of trying to learn animation if you don't know it yet, and if you haven't got into it or haven't heard of it. And that all deals with rigging. Rigging a character, 3D character, is applying digital bones, and those bones can be pretty much controls for your vertices and your polygons that actually created a 3D model. So that's that part. Let's go to the pose, and say we wanted to throw in a different pose for the character, right? Say this fighting pose. This is like a, I don't know, a customized Hulk looking stance or something like that, right? Now we're gonna hop out, and all we gotta do is go sync with MH, and that will automatically update with that particular pose. So that is pretty powerful that you can do that on Blender 2.80, and that's something that was mind-blowing to me, and I was just like, whoa, that is pretty powerful that you can do that super fast. And look at that pose. That pose is pretty cool. So let's click the overlay to hide it, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit the N key to hide that part. We're gonna hit the T key and hide that part, and now I can go in and I can play with the render. Now one of the things that I noticed that the mouth is gonna have an issue sometimes, so if you don't want the mouth to have an issue, then you have to work on some of the stuff. Another thing is the hands looks like it got deformed. So if you're having issues with all that, like I said, it's in an alpha version, so it may not work 100% the way as intended. So what you want to do is X out of Blender and load it back up and start from scratch. And also X out of MakeHuman and load that back up and start from scratch, and that should fix some of your problems. So I did that before in the past, and I can try to do it again, but I don't want to reset all of my settings for getting Blender to render. I'm just trying to give y'all folks a demonstration so you can see, what you can do, the capabilities and how powerful it is just by using some simple software that is highly advanced. Simple software meaning that it gives you the simplicity. It takes out a lot of the complexity in terms of how difficult it is to create a 3D model, and it simplifies the process in terms of making it, more of a clickable drag and drop options, and you don't have to like sculpt and design the model at all. You're just clicking things and then it shows up on Blender with a full model design, and you're just like, what the hell? How did I do that? It's pretty powerful. Now, another tool that I was using in the past is known as Adobe Fuse, a Mixamo Fuse, and using Mixamo Fuse through Steam. So it does very similar stuff like this, and it works in conjunction with Photoshop, and mainly through Adobe's Fuse version, it works through Photoshop. So this kind of reminds me how you can do the synchronizations through Photoshop. So if y'all folks use that, that's paid. That's paid versions that you have to use. Now, if you're using Mixamo Fuse, Mixamo Fuse is more of a free version. So you can get that through Steam, which does the same kind of thing. But the synchronization onto Photoshop won't work unless you have the Adobe Fuse and you have the Creative Cloud and all that stuff. And I used to have that. I was a Creative Cloud member. But now that I got all this free stuff in Blender, I don't really need it, you know what I'm saying? But some people like it because it works in conjunction with other stuff. They can use it with Adobe After Effects, and they can create, motion graphics and all kinds of stuff like that. Now, if you learn Blender, you can create motion graphics as well. And it's just a larger learning curve for a lot of these different tools, so it takes some time. I recommend for y'all folks to go off of my actual channel, and you can get a lot of stuff. So I'll show you on my channel real quick. I'll put the link in the description area to get to this actual tutorial, more of a tutorial playlist for Blender. So I got tons and tons of stuff that I curated here because I'm a student. I'm not that great. I'm not that knowledgeable on Blender as a whole. I'm not a Blender modeler type or artist, you know what I'm saying? So I'm more of a computer savvy, and I love playing around with my file folders and going through those type of things like file exchanges, plugins. I'm really into the plugin stuff, trying to learn how to become much better and more accurate with my usage of plugins, because plugins will help you to extend your use on any software, any 3D software that allows you to plug in one tool to another tool from third parties. So that interests me right away when I first got into Blender, which was like 4 months ago. And as soon as I got into that, that's when I started to expand my knowledge on Blender, and I gravitated more towards using it because it gives you much more power. Like you can tell, obviously it's pretty powerful stuff. You can make this guy just hop over here and automatically you get some stuff working. So other than that, that's all I got. Hopefully y'all folks got some information that you can use from this, and you're willing to go further with Blender. Blender is powerful, man. It's way beyond. They use it in Hollywood. Actual Marvel used it for some advertising props and stuff like that. One of the guys from Marvel, I have a video on that as well that's tied into this playlist. You'll find it somewhere in the playlist. There's tons of stuff that I have going on with this playlist. Also, I made a video recently. I'll drag y'all folks to that real quick. Let's go to my channel. Actually, go over here. Oh, it's right here. On my channel, I have my Blender superheroes. And my Blender superheroes are those who went very hard over the years, all the way back to like 7, 8 years ago. People who actually joined Blender many, many years ago before me and are helping me. And I'm sure, pretty sure they know they're helping a lot of people, millions of people on the planet to learn Blender. And let's see if I can find it. Where is it? Here it is, right here. So this video right here, called My Blender Superheroes, I highly recommend for y'all folks to try it if you want to learn Blender. This video, Blender 2.8 beta, top how-to creators and 3D artists. I recommend a lot of people for this video. In this video, I recommend a lot of people to be, for y'all folks to watch a lot of different Blender channels. And that's what I like to do. I like to showcase things because it's a way for us to improve ourselves, to better ourselves around, each one teach one type of community, how-to community. It's all about a community. It's not about one individual. So we helping each other to gain access to tools, to gain knowledge base, to really rise to the occasion and do things that the average person doesn't want to do. So that's what we're into doing. You know, people who are into the how-to stuff, into educating, into helping, creating guides, creating assistance type videos. So that's what this video is all about. I highly recommend for y'all folks to check it out. It only got 43 views, but you never know. Maybe in the future it'll have over 100, 1,000, whoever, whatever views. It's all good. It's not about the views to me. It's about how many people it actually helps. That's why I like to create videos, because it's about me helping people. And if y'all folks want to learn how to get Facebook Live running and stuff like that on your computer, besides doing it through your smartphone, I'll be helping y'all folks with that stuff in the future, and many other things as well. Because some people are probably trying to figure out like how is he creating this on his computer. If you're having that issue, you want to get stuff running with your computer. Um, I use what is known as OBS, the Open Broadcasting Software Studio. So I'm gonna end this video with this part right quick. I'm gonna end it with that, so y'all folks can at least know what I use. So I use this. I go to settings, I go to stream, and in the stream area you have to set up your YouTube for YouTube/YouTube gaming, or not your YouTube, sorry, your service, your streaming service for YouTube/YouTube gaming. And then the stream key you have to get from your actual YouTube creator app side where you have live stream set up. So that's over here in the live dashboard. To get to this, you get to this through your Creator Studio. So you go to your Creator Studio here, you click it, and I just wanted to end it on that positive note, because some people may question it while they're watching the video, like, how is he doing all this stuff? So you got live streaming here. You click the live streaming option, which is under the video manager, and from there it will lead you to this area here. So that's what the live dashboard does. But don't save. Make sure you do not show anybody your live stream key, and that's really important not to do, because if you show them your live stream key, they can actually access your live stream, and they can go in and they can do stuff with your live stream. They can actually activate your live stream from their location around the planet. So it's right here. This is the stream name key. Don't reveal it while you're doing live streams like I'm doing right now. This is actually not revealed, so people they can't access it. If you do reveal it, make sure you're not live streaming and you're not recording in the video mode at all. So you basically not creating a video of your screen or screencasting. So then you reveal it, left click it, copy it, and then you hide it. If you did by mistake for some reason show it to somebody, or you think you showed it, you can reset it. There's a reset button that's going to show up right here on the right of it. Other than that, that's all I got. Joy, love, and peace to all. Mike Pugh signing off. Hopefully this video helped you in many different ways to, boost up your game, take your online digital skills to another level using Blender, and also hopefully you being able to create live streams for other people in your community and to help them to learn this stuff as well, because each one teach one. Let's help everybody from whatever we gain and the knowledge sources that we gain. Let's help others around us, and so that they can grow, they can become better, they can actually do stuff as well besides what they already know how to do. And that's all I got. I'm out of here. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, smash that bell icon like a freaking, I don't know, pinata if you want, so that you can tune into my latest videos. In order to do that for the bell icon, if y'all folks don't know that, I don't know who's watching, but you go to a video. Let me pull up a video real quick and say it was this video. I'm doing some really quick I guess teaser videos and test videos, so let's go to it real quick. Alright, so the bell icon will be, let's see, well, I can't subscribe to my own channel, but wherever you see the subscribe button, when you hit the subscribe button, then there's a bell icon under the subscribe button or on the side of the subscribe button, and that bell icon will help more and more of my viewers get my latest videos. And that's all I got. I am out. To exit out of OBS, when you're on the OBS software tool, let's cancel this here. You have to stop streaming over here. So this is how you start streaming and stop streaming. this button. If you want to create it like a local video for your actual desktop PC, laptop PC, you click start recording, and you can't do both. If you do both, it's gonna cause some issues with your computer. 9 times out of 10, if your computer is too slow, it will definitely cause problems. But if you have like a mega galactic workstation or super duper GPU processing through like an NVIDIA card, you probably can run both of them at the same time. Oh, and then last but not least, with file, you go to show recordings. If you want to get your local recordings, I'm just giving this for folks who are still watching. You go to show recordings, and then it shows up in your videos section. It should be defaulted to your video section. If it's not defaulted here, you can actually change the default. Go to file, go to settings, and then you go to video. And in here, I believe you can change the default, or no, go to output, sorry. So you go to output, and I believe this is where you got to change it. Forgot exactly where you change the default. Video, let's see, advanced. Oh, I think this might be it. Video, I haven't done it in a while, but you basically can change where you want your recordings to go, and this might be it. Let's see, file, formatting, recording. No, that's not it. Damn it. Output, recording. Here we go. Yeah, so it was output. I just forgot to change it. So streaming, this is the streaming side of it, and then recording. So you go to recordings, and right here where it says recording path, mine is set for C drive users flash videos. You can change it there. And other than that, I can't change it right now because I'm actually activating or have the streaming activated. So when you're streaming, you're not going to be able to change anything in this area for output. But when you're not streaming, when you click stop streaming, you can go in and you can change where you want your actual recording path to go. Now for streaming itself, you're streaming to an actual, more of a host, so a server host. So we're sending it to YouTube. So that is not being recorded on my computer. It's not being recorded on my desktop or laptop computer. It's being recorded out on YouTube. And when it's done on YouTube, YouTube is going to create a recorded video. It's going to save it and store it and then send it to the YouTube video archive for my channel. So it's going to be projected to the audience after that. And other than that, that's a wrap on it. Hopefully y'all folks like that tail end information for live streaming, and I'll see you next time.